Welcome to this week's episode of Aphra's Artifacts, where we do some archaeology of our own and dig into the queer side of Star Wars. I'm your host, Alia Morgaine, and it's so great to have you here. So, today we're talking about the relationship between Sana Starros and Dr. Aphra. But first, we're going to dig a little bit into Sana herself, see what kind of character she is, some of the things she went through in the story, and where we can find her. So she can be found in the 2015-19 Star Wars comic run, the 2016-19 Dr. Aphra comic run, the Dr. Aphra audio drama, which just recently came out, and the Last Shot adult novel. So, Sana's first introduced to us in the 4th issue of the 2015-19 Star Wars comic run as a mysterious figure. We don't know her name, we don't know who she is. She's all shrouded and covered, and she's out for Han Solo. She's out for his head. So, she doesn't exactly start out as a good person. She does eventually have a change of heart and start working with the rebels, getting them out of dire situations. But to start, she's focused. She has a single-minded determination to annihilate Han. She's also ruthless, though. Has a voice-activated, smart targeting scatter blaster, which is activated by names of body parts. You can see in this image, she said the word knees. These images are incredibly gruesome. This is a group of Rhodians she's trying to get information out of. Oof. She also holds grudges forever. I mean, her grudge against Dr. Aphra is epic. Of course, she's also holding a grudge against Han Solo, as we see in this first introduction to her. Her ship is a Volt Cobra, which has a little bit of a similar appearance to the Millennium Falcon, although she claims it is a lot faster. So we learn her first name in the 6th issue of the 2015-19 Star Wars comic run, where there's a cliffhanger ending with Sana claiming to be Han Solo's wife. Yes, she claims to be his wife. When this came out, fandom was shook because we always thought that Leia was the only wife Han ever had. But it turns out that the whole Sana Solo thing was just a giant charade. So she does continue this charade for 6 issues, and Leia is dead convinced that it's the truth. Well, as I said, Sana didn't exactly start out as a good person. She attempts to sell Leia out to the Imperials. She claims that Han was planning to do that all along. Han is so frustrated with the situation, and he's trying to get back into Leia's good graces, but Leia ends up pulling a gun on both of the smugglers, and then Imperials come down to the planet and start shooting at all 3 of them. Well, Sana has a small change of heart where she's like, okay, I will save you 2. But really, it's just because she wants Han. And they do escape on the Volt Cobra because she'd already blown up their stolen Imperial shuttle. Then a couple issues later, Han is talking to Leia through a closed door and says, he admits, I married her on Stennis, or pretended to marry her, at least. It was one of my stupid schemes to get back at a crime lord who'd been double-crossing spice smugglers. He owned a gambling den, biggest in the system. I put together a team, but we needed to stage a big event to cover the break-in. We decided on a wedding. And then in the next issue, Sana finally admits to Leia that her marriage to Han was in fact a scam, and she doesn't want Han back because they're married. She wants Han back because he made off with her cut, which is pretty typical Han. So that's our first introduction to Sana. It's a wonderfully engaging story. It keeps you guessing the entire time. I do want to make a little side note about Last Shot, the adult novel by Daniel Jose Older, in reference to Sana. There are four timelines in this novel, and one of the timelines takes place between Solo and A New Hope, with Han, Chewie, and Sana going after the Phalanx Redux Transmitter, which is a machine that turns droids against sentience, and they're trying to keep it out of the hands of certain notorious people. Of course, Sana also thinks, hey, this could give me a lot of money. The whole time, Han is hardcore hitting on Sana, and she consistently rebuts him, but she never says, hey dude, I'm a lesbian, so knock off. Which I found to be incredibly frustrating. I mean, it's not like Daniel Jose Older is afraid of queer people. He does have a character, Taka Gemarisa, in the book who's non-binary. So why couldn't Sana have said something like that to Han? I don't know. I mean, maybe she's bi or pansexual, and so she might also be into men. But still, there was no mention of her sexuality at all in that book, and it just irritated me a little. So remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter at Alia Morgaine, and peruse my blog at thestarsreview.blogspot.com. And check out part 2, where we look at the beginnings of the Dr. Aphra and Sana Starros story, the beginnings of their relationship at the University of Barleth before Aphra was a doctor.